text equals this, hierarchy equals this, parts is blank right now, last ID given is 25 because there's 26 items in the array. Take the first letter in text and we're going to look for it in hierarchy. We're going to add it to parts, the letter location in text, which is 1, and we're going to add after it by a dot anything that is after it in hierarchy. So there's nothing, so we go to the next letter and we do this again in text. And we're going to stop if we see a space or other things like a period or anything. So here we have parts 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to look for matches. There's no matches. And then we're going to try and find the best combo, and 1, 2, 3, 4, that's the best. It saves the whole sentence. To tie the two parts together, 1 and 2, we're going to look at last ID given is 25, so you bump it up to 26. And then what we're going to do is look at part 1 first. It's letter location 1 in text, it's B. We're going to look for B in hierarchy. Here it is. 26 is H, so we add after B a dot there. And then what we're going to do is add after B H. We do this for the other part too, which is E. And we add after E H. Now for the next part, we're going to create one that is 1 and 2. So 1, 2. And we're going to create it after Z because that's going to be the next ID in the array of hierarchy. And it's going to be 26. We don't add the IDs, we just make up, we know them. And then what you do is you're going to add two symbols that say to go to B and E. You're going to look for the symbol for 1, and you're going to look for the symbol for 4. Make sure that when you tie these two together and you make a new item in the array, that the first one you put here in that item is going to be the symbol that tells you to go to the first part of the two that you're tying together. And then the second one is the second one. Once you make the part 1, 2, and it's here, you could make the part 1, 2, 3, and tie together 1, 2, and 3, but to be modest, we're going to tie together 3 and 4, and then you tie together 1, 2, 3, 4. The dictionary codes save on memory space. To tie together 1, 2, and 3, 4, we're going to bump up the ID to 28. We're going to add that item 28 into the array, and we're going to get the symbol for 28 and add it after both of these so that they both link to it. And then we're going to make sure that item 27 links to those two, and we're going to add in the two symbols in it, which are going to be for these two. As you can see in the hierarchy, we have letters, and then we have new items that are made up out of 2 letters, or made up out of 2 of those. And then so what you have is you have a letter and dot, and then you have an item and another item and another item separated by spaces. Now that's because this letter isn't made up out of 2 parts, it's a leaf. So if you have a part that's made up out of 2 letters, you will have separated by space, and then you have a dot and another item separated by space, even like 10. And those are the ones that it links to and builds up higher up that level. So there's a way to know what you're looking at here, see? Done tying them together, mark into the last part at front as 0. Once refreshed and done that, and you see a comma, you have to go back to the last comma or the beginning of text. And we're going to do it again, but you're not going to stop when you see that space. So you're going to stop when you get back to that comma. And this time then you'll have in parts all of best and cat, all those letters, and then you tie them together. And what you'll end up doing is you'll be tying together best cat, because those are the 2 biggest parts will find in best combo after you find matches. Because you'll find matches like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you'll find for cat it's, and so in best combo you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2, 3 for cat and best. And so then what you do is you'd be tying the 2 together. After that refreshed, you start after the comma, and you do this for all the commas that you'll find. And so you do at, then you do my, and then you do at my, and you do after that, da 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 da. Now once you do get to a period, you're going to go back to the last period or the beginning of text, and then you're going to do the same thing. Ignore the spaces, ignore the commas, and you're going to get all the letters this time now into parts. And you're going to tie the parts together like best cat, at my. Now once you've done that, you continue after the period and you do it again. And that will be good enough for now. Once you put all the letter parts into parts, you're going to look for matches. So you'll see that these two have H, but there's two more requirements. It has to go from 1 to 2. It can't be like 1, 3, because in the sentence in text, you're going to have like 1, 3, and that's not in sequence, so you want it to be like BE. The third requirement is that they have to be in order. So if you got BE you took out of here, and you have two parts and they have a match, and it's 1 and 2, this one has to be B and this one has to be E. So if you go to the actual one that they link to, H, and you look, it might say in the two parts H is made up out of here in this item, is that it's actually EB, EB. So you go to 1 and 2, you look at 1, and if it says to go to the item that's E, and the other one B, you know it's going made up out of the two letters EB, it's EB. So the word is EB, and here you look at text, letter location 1 is actually B, so you know that you have BE, but you don't have a match that exists in hierarchy array because it's EB, it's not B. And then the last part is this.